there is a place in the heart of one of Europe's oldest mountains. A place which I first visited 17 years ago. In my wildest dreams, I never imagined it would become so dear to me and play such a significant role in my life. It is an enchanted place, hidden here in the old mountains. I have dedicated half of my life traveling to the greatest locations to photograph one of the most beautiful horses. Through my journeys, I created award-winning photographs, met amazing stories, hosted many workshops worldwide, and experienced some amazing adventures. Now I want to take you along with me, showing behind-the-scene life of adventurous traveling horse photographer, not fearing the unknown and discovering truth of many meanings. If you are ready to join, welcome to my world. At the foot of a hill, on which stands a lonely birch tree, lies a hidden stable that has stolen my heart. Located at the edge of village of Okrzesik in southwestern Poland, it is known to many as the Stallion Podolin. It is here that many pages of my history were written, not only as a photographer but also as a breeder of amazing gypsy horses. Taking you on this journey, I am proud to present you Podolin Heavenly Bounty, my next horse and a small legacy, written by the most important horses in my breeding history to date. Bounty was born in June 2024. He is the last son of my first horse, whom you already know, McCartney's Wow Factor, who is also the son of the reason I fell in love with Gypsy Cobs. McCartney's Highland Prince, known to everyone around the world as Cookie. He left behind numerous offspring, many of whom won titles at breed shows in UK, too numerous to mention here. What's important is that Cookie is descendant of the Lion King, whom everyone who knows even a little about Cobs has heard of. He was a true legend and the ideal of the traditional gypsy type, aspired to by everyone breeding those horses worldwide. Bounty's sire, my Wow Factor on his dam side, Sky, is also descendant of the foundation stallion among stepping Cobs, lighter Cobs with high leg action, the old black and white horse. Bounty was born in another stable, where his dam, Podolin Praline, has gone after she was sold. She is one of the first foals born at Podolin since the breeding farm was established. Praline is the daughter of Smurf. Another horse who has become a permanent part of the history of this place and beyond, Blue Peyo, because that was the registered name I gave Smurf when I came to England to meet him. He was then a 2-year-old youngster, for whom my friends, the McCartneys, were looking for a home. Even before I left his pasture, I knew Smurf would come to us in Poland and would be our first stud. He spent several years in Poland, maturing and gaining a large following, and leaving behind several outstanding foals. In 2020, together with Podolin's owner, we made difficult decision to sell him and he moved to USA, where his legend was yet to shine. Under the wings of his new owner, Cynthia, who unfortunately passed away recently, and his training at Hans Performance Horses, Smurf advanced further than any Gypsy Stallion in US, becoming the first double Supreme Champion in the breed's history, winning all the titles along the way. Then Pralina's dam, Demi, known to all of us as Milka, is the mare descendant from the Toy Boy line. In 2013, she produced a silver coat. McCartney Balios was the first horse I ever named while I was living at McCartney Stud. As a youngster and a mature horse, Balios, under the care of his then owner Kim, won the titles of multi-champion of England and Scotland. So my little bounty has a pedigree full of stars and horses that meant the most to me, which is, for me personally, the perfect combination. What does his future hold? I'm not planning that far ahead. Let the universe decide where the path takes us next. I first came to Podolin with one goal in mind: to photograph my first feathered cob. It was Gita, the first horse of Podolin's owner Agnieszka. It was Agnieszka who founded this place in 2006 and later became a wonderful partner in co-creating the Gypsy breeding project. We formed the perfect duo. She, full of passion, runs and improves this extraordinary place, having experience in horse ownership and study in horse breeding. And me, fascinated by the Gypsy breed, I began to travel the world in search of numerous sources, meeting many breeders, truths, and visions about breeding these horses. Over the years, I written numerous articles, judged at breed shows, and expanded my knowledge by visiting many great breeders around the world. By sharing my knowledge and immersing myself more deeply in the community, I began to understand which lines were the most valuable to them. At the same time, I developed a passion for a horse color genetics and a fascination for breeding horses with rare coat colors. Therefore, year after year, not only the most important lines, but also attractive colors began to arrive at Podolin. Breeding horses here is driven by many ideas. We are trying to breed the ideal horse for ourselves, with good conformation, a good head, and both physical and mental health. We have managed to create something rarely seen in Poland: stallions living together in groups. While maintaining herds of mares with stallions is not ideal here, still, breeding stallions never live alone. Depending on age and overall character, bachelors groups are selected. Stallions often have a reputation of bad behavior, mostly because they lack of basics of equine life, group living and access to open spaces. Although confrontations do occasionally happen, these are usually just fooling around and reminders of each other's place in the group. Trust me, these stallions are often good friends and act worried when one of them leaves his companion. Of course, managing stallions this way requires knowledge and experience. So I don't recommend such a practices without seeking advice from appropriate sources. I would also like to empathize that not every stallion is suited to live in a group, especially if he has been separated for years from learning the social rules of horses, or if two individuals of dominant type meet each other. I could talk for hours about the dynamics of life in the Stallion's group, but I would be happy to discuss about that another time. Podolin and I live in symbiotic relationship. Thanks to this place, I developed not only in my breeding experience helping Agnieszka run selective breeding, which results in horses sell worldwide, but I also owe to this place that I developed my wings as a photographer the most. It was here that I began hosting my own events, portfolio days and master classes for Polish and international photographers. It was here during my first international workshop that I took a photo that won National Geographic. It was here that the magic happened and added the wind into the sails of the ship of my faith, in myself as a photographer, creator, and sometimes even a leader, gaining the attention and respect of numerous people who attended the events. Podolin and the team of people who help with each workshop have given me the opportunity to create a brand of my own. Photographers from all over the world come to our joint events, both beginners and truly accomplished photographers. This is where everyone can come to participate in the photography sessions I organize. This place is made up of wonderful people, a stunning mountain location and unique colorful feathered horses. Grateful for what this place has given me over the 12 years of running workshops, I also want to give the others opportunity to create beautiful shots, so this place can also bring a quantum leap in the development of other photographers. For many years now, I proudly observe photographers having once attached my workshops, now spreading their wings by boosting beautiful portfolios, exhibiting their works on exhibitions, and even win photography competitions. All this truly nourishes my soul and makes these workshops here something I would definitely want to continue. Podolin began to appear on the map as an atmospheric stable situated in a beautiful location, friendly to the youngest equestrians, with extraordinary and gentle horses, and thanks to the beautiful photos of photographers who visited this place under my wings, it has certainly become a one-in-a-kind place. If you would like to join one of those workshops, feel free to check out the announced events on my website. And if you would like to sneak a peek how it looks from behind the scene, I have left a link to the decided episode in the top corner. This place never stays the same. Things are constantly changing, evolving and developing. This includes the gypsy breeding. Last year, a new chapter began in the history of this place. 3 champagne foals were born, some of the first in the world with this coat color, as until recently this gen was absent in this breed. Thanks to the several breeders around the world, we have already managed to breed the 4th generation of cobs with this color, and we are proudly the part of this history. And from the bottom of my heart, I feel blessed that I can add this chapter as my own heritage too.